I want to get into, you got your little notebook here, daily and weekly rituals. What are your daily rituals? And for people watching this video, what are some daily, weekly rituals, habits, routines, whatever you want to call them, that people can start to do to be more productive or happy or make more money, whatever the heck it is.
Cool.
Good shit.
All right.
You are listening to Living That Life podcast. Subscribe on iTunes and at youtube.com Living That Life for amazing travel videos. View discretion is advised.
About the four key ones. So we've got you've got to have this this initial ritual which each week frames your entire week. So you've got to have basically a planning document which is to the detail. Like, this document has got to be basically your Bible, and you need to spend a minimum of an hour before, probably more like 2-3 hours prior to your week beginning, to actually plan and experiment in your own mind. You need to walk through your week. You need to be able to look at everything that's going on, not just in your business but in your life, and you need to see it from a bird's eye view. And you need to be able to have that laid out in front of you so you can see every aspect at the same time. What most people try to do is they write a couple of goals down on a piece of paper. And it's like, cool, that's what I'm gonna try to get done this week. And it's like, well, okay, that's fine, but are you considering that in relation to every single thing in your life? The answer is never yes. And so the thing is you can increase your efficiency by like 200% by doing a process like this, because you can be so certain that you've come to the absolute optimal solution for what your week needs to look like. You're like, boom, I'm gonna fit in all my working out, that's gonna go there. I'm gonna fit in all my socializing, that's gonna go there. I'm gonna have all this project, that's gonna go there.
Nice.
It's all just gonna be dialed in.
Oh, heck yeah.
So basically you're gonna wanna have this initial planning document. This needs to be one document. This document should have everything in it. You should change it every week. In other words, you get rid of that document, you keep it, you save it so you know where your progress was, you can go back and look at it for progress. Then the thing, you just duplicate it, make it a keynote presentation or a PowerPoint presentation, put it all in there so you know everything is in there. Then just duplicate it the next week. So then you delete you save the old one, and then you start modifying the new one. Now you've got that, that's a system. So you do that every week. You just week in, week out, week in, week out. It's the same, it's a habit. That becomes one of these habits. In this particular thing we were talking about before, this is like a ritual thing where you should be tracking the rituals that you do every week. So for example, for all of your goals, you know that if you need to be fit and healthy, which you need to be, then you're going to need to be doing certain things. So add that into a spreadsheet and track it. Tick it off at the end of every day. You're going to have at least probably 10, maybe 5, maybe 10, more likely between 5 and 10 different habits that you do every single day. Maybe it's having a green juice, maybe it's eating a healthy meal, maybe it is going for a workout, maybe it's talking to someone in your family or a close relationship, maybe it's reading a book. Like, whatever it is, you want to tick those off every day because it gives you good data at the end of each week. It's not really meaningful each day, but at the end of each week you can look back and you can make adjustments, see what worked, see what didn't. So that's the second thing you need to do. The third thing is you need to have a review that you do every single day. This is about 8 questions. It's things like, what went well today? Where did I feel the most expansive? Where did I perform really well? What can I do differently next time? Where am I learning? What did I learn today? And basically what you're doing is you're capturing information from your day that would otherwise be missed, and you're using it to actually create a stronger sense of focus for your mind. And what your mind will do otherwise, it will just focus on like what's not going so well. That just tends to be what it does. So you need that ritual. Right. And the last ritual is you need to have this is more like a set of them, but you need to have the energy stacking in the morning. So you've got to have this
energy stacking
on point where you're activating physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. So, and we're going to probably talk about the dark warrior. So basically energy stacking, if you saw the first video, I just really talked about it on a very surface level. It's essentially the concept that we have 4 different levels of energy that we can tap into, and this came from a sports psychologist who watched the top tennis players in the world, and what he saw was he couldn't figure out the difference between the best ones and the ones that were not able to beat these best ones, and eventually he figured out it was what they were doing between the points, which was strange because that wasn't somewhere that anyone was looking. And what they realized, or what he realized after he put them in a lab, was that there was something that was happening to their bodies through their rituals that they were doing. So they were losing, heart rate was going down, they were getting more energy, and over the course of the match, they were saving a lot of energy. This made them better decision makers, this made them more powerful, this made them make better shot choices, and it made them fitter. So they had a lot more energy in the game. So the same thing is true for you in your life and your business. We are able to activate all 4 of these systems. So if you activate your mental system, for example, you might be reading. So you're learning new thoughts. You're actually training your system to think differently on the mental level. You could possibly also do that through a conversation, but the places that we put this doesn't really make that viable. So this is, you know, audiobooks, podcasts, this is when you're reading, and, you know, a lot of you probably already read a lot, and you know that when you read and you have your mind expanded, you look at things differently, and you've activated your mind. You're like, yeah, wow, you know what, I could do that, I could think like that. It triggers new thoughts. So you're activating the mental system. The spiritual side of things is really about purpose. It's really about what is your greater purpose for existing. Are you just like existing for no reason? Most people have values, things that they consider to be important to them. And so this is a place where you go to connect into those values. And this is really where, this isn't your head, this is more your heart. It's like, what are the relationships that are important to me? Like, but more, what is the values? What do I stand for? What am I, what's important to me? Like, why am I even doing this, right? Like freedom as well, right? Like this is what's probably really important to you.
Oh, well, yeah, that's the main motivation, you know, behind everyone. Like, I feel like, creating that freedom. We were born from some 1 trillion to 1 miracle. Like, let's experience this earth that we were randomly born on to the fullest, and see the most of it that we possibly can, and spread the most happiness on it that we can before we die. You know, we're all gonna die, so let's just make the most of it.
Totally. So I just want you to listen, like what Riley just said there, this concept of purpose, this is the difference that made, you guys might not be familiar with Monica Seles, some of you will be if you're a tennis fan from back in the day. She was a world number 3. She ended up becoming world number 1 in 1 year, and the big change that they made was they just got her to do everything she was already doing, but do it for a purpose that was larger than herself. Emotional, relationships. Biggest component of emotional is relationships. Look at all the research. Number 1 quality that defines a happy life and results a happy life is relationships. So this means, what are you doing to connect in and to be connected on that emotional relationship level, and how's your relationship ecosystem looking, and what are you doing there? So it's important that you consider that, because that is going to be affecting your emotional battery very significantly. And the final one is physical, which relates a lot to the Dark Warrior, which I'm sure.
Okay, right. I wanted to jump into that too quick.
All right.
Okay. He says, you know, he was telling me, like, a lot of the top guys, what they do is they know how to access this Dark Warrior. You know, the Knights of the Round Table, it's like, going to fucking bloody battle, like that type of, you know, primate that's in us.
Yeah, well, the key thing for the Dark Warrior is actually facing your fears. It's actually facing a piece of you, or facing a part of you that says you can't do this. It's facing a story that says, dude, you know what, this is too hard for you. You're literally not going to be able to pull this off. And then finding within you the courage, basically to the point where you say, fuck you. You go into this place of like, fuck you, I'm gonna do this different, I can break through this. And you're channeling that aggression into a way that breaks through your fear and your limiting beliefs. And the best way to do this is you've got to activate, you want to activate all of the systems, but you want to activate through physically and pressing through a physical challenge. And then what I do after that is you then want to get, now that you'll be fired up, once you push through that, you're going to feel pretty fucking good, right? Like you finish your workout, you feel pretty good, right?
Everyone knows that.
Yep. So now you can add to that, basically add fuel to the fire. So you've got 2 options. One is a form of anchoring, which basically means that you get a certain type of music that you link to your own victory. So get the music that basically to you is like, I just fucking killed it, I win. Link the music. When you link the music to that state, your brain makes the link. So the next time you listen to that music, you...
So tell us about why the morning workouts, why the top guys, you said most of them do the morning workout.
The thing is, it's all part of the stacking of these systems, right? If you activate 2 of the energy systems, you just read a book. Let's say you just read a book. You wake up, you just read a book, and you maybe try to meditate for 20 minutes. you're probably still quite tired. Your body's still probably a little bit like in sleep mode. Your muscles are tight. Your hormones are definitely not switched on. They're in like sleep hormone. Your balance of your hormones is totally different. So probably when you go to meditate, a lot of people say, well, how do you, I mean, I can meditate when I first wake up because I tend to wake up with better energy. But a lot of people don't, and they'll fall asleep. They'll just be like, they just go straight back to sleep. They're like, how come how do you do that? Like, I'm like, well, it's different for me. Maybe you need to activate your physical and do your meditation at the end. This way, everyone's different. We gotta dial that in.
I get it.
So the thing is though, is if you let's say that you did the meditation after you're working out, which is an awesome time to do it, by the way. It feels phenomenal. So if that worked for you, if doing it straight after waking up was too much, you get to the end of your ritual and you've done all of them, and then you meditate. I promise you'll probably have those experiences of peace and calm that you'll have will blow your mind. You'll just be like, what the fuck have I been missing out on? It's literally like you're taking drugs. What do you think you're doing? When you activate your mind, you activate your brain, you activate your body, and you start doing this in specific ways, what do you think is happening in your brain and your body? It's just producing chemicals, endorphins. Flow is, you can't buy the cocktail of drugs that your body produces in flow. It's the active ingredients in marijuana, it's the active ingredients in heroin, it's the active ingredients in morphine, and it's the active ingredients in speed, all combined together. And you're releasing that. And it's addictive. Like, that's why we do this. That's the point. The point is to systemize the releasing of those chemicals. And those states that get created from that, research has shown in the flow tests, like when they induce flow, they have the most amazing results. You solve problems you could never have solved before. They see this with lots of people, you know? It's really cool stuff. It's definitely worth playing around with, for sure. It's fun. Come join the BOLD protocol if you're worried about accountability. Just jump in one of the programs.
BOLD protocol.
I'll take you through it.
That's his thing. That's his thing. So links below, guys. Check it out.
We just talked about the breathing.
And just one quick life hack that will bring value to you guys is just take one deep breath.
Do you do Wim Hof's fun though. I like doing the Wim Hof.
Do you do the actual
final hole? That's so nice. Like, so the health hack, the other one that we were talking about was the green powder. That shit's golden.
I talked about that in a podcast before. I've always brought in like a couple jugs of greens first. You can get it off Amazon.
I think that one of the biggest things is just covering nutritional bases. I mean, pretty much guaranteed you're not getting everything you need food-wise from your food in terms of nutrients.
This day and age,
I think it's like the best cover. It's the best like base cover to build up the nutrient base that you've got inside you. Plus the other thing, it seems like a lot of like having a more alkaline physiology seems to be really good, and the chlorophyll and the greens are really good for doing that. And it's probably good for your blood. Helps you do detoxing. That's the big one I think as well. It helps with a detox. So if this is the first thing you put in the morning, then your colon, which holds a lot of like your colon functioning, when that goes out, like people don't think about their colon. Like who thinks about their colon? It's like the one thing, it's the last thing you want to think about, except it's the source of most of your health. So all your serotonin is produced in your gut, like 95% of it. That's your happy chemicals. If you lose your happy chemicals and your mood, then you don't function. It's as simple as that. Everything's too integrated. I'll often have kombucha or kefir, which is like just a massive fermented foods. They're just full with probiotics. They're amazing. For sure, I love kombucha.
For someone that like has never meditated, doesn't know what the frick to do, like what should they just do, you know, like tomorrow morning?
Alright, so first thing is there's no such thing as bad meditation. Just do something. The only bad meditation is no meditation. You've either got app, go to calm.com. That's very simplest, fastest. Go to calm.com and just put it on. It's like a website. You just press play. Or get the app Headspace. That'll cost you some money. Guided visualizations on YouTube, guided meditations. Honestly, just do anything. Go to calm.com. Press play.
Boom.
There you go. Done.
There you go.
You're now meditating.
Awesome. Okay, that was some dope life hacks.
We're gonna have that ebook too, so there'll be a link to some detailed stuff on the energy stack, and you can look at it, and that'll be below. I think CameronGallagher.com/limitless. You can check it out.
Yes.
And say hi to me on Facebook. Come and add me on Facebook and say hi. And if you got any questions, you know, there's heaps of more stuff that I'll be doing in this area. So come on, say hi and message.
Digital Nomad, hit them up.
gonna just show you.
Thanks for listening till the end. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a comment and a review. See ya!